It's better vision for life with board-certified ophthalmologist Dr. James Kelly.
So there are some vision correction centers that do a lot of different things. Could be LASIK, could be cataracts. They could work with glaucoma treatment, eye allergies, dry eyes. There's a few that do just LASIK. We're here with board-certified ophthalmologist Dr. James Kelly, who does all of those procedures I just mentioned and more. I've always wondered, Dr. Kelly, by the way, thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me, Steve.
Why don't you do just LASIK?
Because simply put, if you just do LASIK, you're going to be like a hammer where everything looks like a nail. And you try to fit, if you only do one procedure, then everyone who comes into your office for a consultation, you somehow convince yourself that they're a candidate for the only one thing that you do. So there's a bias we all have, and we try to, we certainly try to help people, but if you're limited in the tools that you have, I think you're doing your patients a disservice. You're not giving them the best that may be available to them. And I know that over the many years that I've been a board certified eye surgeon, I spent a lot of time and effort in getting certified in all the different forms of surgical vision correction, because I wanted to have that tool chest, that repertoire of tools that would benefit my patients. So the goal for me is to do the appropriate, the best, the absolute best procedure for that patient. Now, everyone comes in with different size eyes, different shaped eyes, different prescriptions, different health conditions, and it would be impossible for all of them to be a candidate for just one type of procedure. If sometimes patients come in and they're not a candidate for any procedure, and I'll let them know that. Or sometimes they're a candidate for a procedure that I don't do, and I do all the forms of surgical vision correction, but sometimes they need something that another specialist will provide, and I will be more than happy to find them the correct specialist. But what's important for me, I define my surgical worthiness on the fact that I became certified in all the forms of surgical vision correction that were FDA approved. And that's really important to me and my patients.
It also shows that you have such a passion and an interest in the anatomy of the eye, where we could just stay with LASIK and that could be, just one service you offer. But you have that passion where you want to help people in all different ways, and now you can because you became certified in all those different procedures.
Yes, I from an early age, from the time I was in high school, actually, I became interested in optics and how the eye works. And so that passion goes way back to my adolescence. And then when I was in medical school, I immediately gravitated to ophthalmology, which is the field of eye diseases and eye surgery. And one of the things that attracted me to the field was the technology and the results of the surgery. And I would see patients literally minutes after surgery already enjoying the benefits from their surgery. And then I looked at how many people had eye diseases that could benefit from eye surgery. And that had my name written all over it.
When we talk about laser vision correction, which encompasses LASIK and also cataract surgery, are there similarities in terms of what's being done using a laser?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of patients, they'll do their own research. They'll go on to Dr. Google and come
Dr. Google.
Yeah. The WebMD, and I'm really glad when patients do some research before they come in, because it makes the time in the office more useful because they already have some background knowledge. And they'll often come in and say, okay, I want laser surgery. And so laser surgery has become a catch-all term, and they're not quite sure themselves what type of laser surgery they need. Some patients come in, they think all laser eye surgery is the same. And then I'll educate them and I'll say, yes, there are many different types of lasers. They all have different functions in terms of correcting vision. And patients will come in with cataracts, maybe in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. And they'll say, I want LASIK. And I said, well, hold on a second. Yeah, you want laser surgery, but not LASIK. LASIK is usually something we do on younger patients in their 20s, 30s, 40s. Who don't have cataracts or other diseases. But laser cataract surgery is something we do on older patients who may have cataracts. So one of my roles and obligations in the office is to make sure I diagnose the patient and I inform them as to what their options are. And in many cases, it is some form of laser surgery, whether it be LASIK or PRK or SMILE for the younger patients, or cataract surgery with implants for the older patients. I will let them know what, if anything, would be the most appropriate form of surgical vision correction for them.
Dr. Kelly, I'm glad we're talking about these because I'd like to just very briefly, maybe even just a sentence or two, explain some of those things that you just mentioned, because I think some people think SMILE and LASIK are similar, but SMILE is a different type of LASIK. So could we explain very briefly, what LASIK is, what PRK is, what SMILE is?
Absolutely, Steve. This is something I do encounter all the time. So the front of the eye is called the cornea. And that's the structure that if a person wears contact lenses, that's the part of the eye they put the contact lens onto. So when I'm doing laser vision correction on patients, let's say in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, I'm operating on their cornea with a laser. Now, PRK and LASIK have been around for over 25 years, and many people have heard those terms, especially LASIK. And so what LASIK and PRK, what those procedures entail is using a laser to reshape the curvature of the cornea. So we in many cases flatten the curvature of the cornea with a laser. SMILE also uses a laser, but a different type of laser. And what we do with SMILE is we create a thin disc. It's like a thin circle of tissue within the cornea, within the front of the eye, that we explant through a tiny little incision, and that corrects the vision. But in summary, what we're doing with the PRK, LASIK, and SMILE through slightly different modalities is we're flattening the curvature of the cornea, and that flattening allows people to see well and to get rid of their glasses and contact lenses. So that's a brief summary of those types of procedures.
No, I appreciate it. Now I don't have to go to YouTube University.
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
You have to go to our YouTube channel. I think it's a lot better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm just curious about astigmatism. A lot of people have them. A lot of people talk about them. I wonder if people really know what an astigmatism is.
Well, again, if you know how to spell that in the first shot, it's coffee on me. But astigmatism, many people have heard of it. Some know what it means, some don't. But essentially what it means is it's an unequal curvature in the cornea. So rather than having a round spherical cornea, we have an oval or elliptical cornea in the case of astigmatism, and that affects vision in a negative way. And astigmatism is often combined with nearsightedness, or otherwise known as myopia. So many patients will present with this elliptical shaped cornea and nearsightedness. And so we tell them, well, listen, you have myopia and astigmatism, and the laser procedure, whether it be LASIK or PRK or SMILE, can correct both the nearsightedness and the astigmatism. And the way we do that is we preferentially place more laser energy into the area of the cornea that's more curved, that has more curvature. So we account for that unequal curvature. So at the conclusion of whatever procedure we do on them, they will be a person who does not have nearsightedness or astigmatism. So that's the way I kind of explain it to patients.
Kelly Vision Center has been working with lasers, you personally, many, many years. What do you see down the road? Like, what do you think the technology is going to do?
Well, gosh, just like it was when I was in medical school and the technology was exciting, here we are a quarter century later. The same holds true. The technology continues to advance at an even more rapid pace. So what we'll see are things like faster treatment time. So rather than doing the surgery in 1 minute, we could do it in 30 seconds. We can customize the treatment even more in the future so that it's even more specific for a person's eye. We're able to do some of that now, and it'll become even better in the future. And those are two things I really look forward to: in even more rapid surgery and even great. I mean, we're getting almost everyone greater than 20/20 now. We'll be getting almost everyone better than 20/15 in the future. So it just gets more and more exciting all the time.
It's amazing. Why do just LASIK?
Again, it gets back to, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I want to be able to have that tool chest. When you open it up, there's 10 different tools there, and we're going to use the correct tool for that patient.
A lot of great insight today. Dr. Kelly, I appreciate you being with us.
Thank you so much, Steve.
It's better vision for life with board-certified ophthalmologist Dr. James Kelly.
Learn more at kellylaser.com.